political violence has no place in an advanced democracy like the United States. But we have seen political violence play out in our country for the last several 4 to 4 years, please, at least 4 years. If you count Charlottesville, it's a lot longer than that. Charlottesville was the beginning of something that we have now seen snowball into near weekly, almost regular occurrences of acts of lawlessness. So here, and two of those acts of lawlessness were attacks, attempted assassinations of the former President Trump. What the irony here, however, is that Donald Trump is the number one agent of chaos in the United States today. He is the one that constantly sows lies and hatred. This assassination attempt came in the middle of Donald Trump and JD Vance propping up uh, disinformation about Springfield, Ohio, a town in Ohio, which has an influx of Haitian immigrants, legal Haitian immigrants. But they have decided that they want to make a big deal about uh, these Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs and geese. And this is just one example of the disinformation that Donald Trump has amplified from the far right fringes onto the mainstream stage of presidential campaigns and on and on and on as part of the campaign. You talk like that about you talk like that about people from Ohio. You talk like that. You go and chase down white supremacists who were chanting, "We love Hitler, we love Trump." You go there a month later and you try to, court their votes. It's To me, it's kind of obvious how Donald Trump is going to battleground states and stoking elements of chaos and stoking fear so that come election, it is easier to trigger these people into committing acts of lawlessness. And we are seeing that backfire in a way that should give Donald Trump and JD Vance pause to think about what they are saying. That it is the solution to guns killing kids and teachers in schools is not more guns in schools, but common sense gun legislation on a federal level that can be enforced by the states and that keeps areas safe and puts a federal mandate on what needs to happen to end the epidemic of gun violence. But do we hear that from JD Vance and Donald Trump? No, not even after Butler, Pennsylvania, where he was hurt by it. I don't, I myself will not cater to any conspiracy theory about what hit him when it is stated that he had a gunshot wound to the ear. And any other conspiracy theory about him orchestrating this attack or the more recent one, I will not give that any credence because that's also disinformation. That's also meant to distract us from the truth of why this happened. And luckily, this attempted assassination, the we have the suspect, so we will be able to figure out what this person's motivation was. And that's where I want to talk about briefly is that we see in this particular person, I think his name is something Routh, and he seems to me like he is online for an online presence or an offline presence that involves him doing things that would get the authorities' attentions so that he is, I don't know, so that he has his moment of glory. Is this his moment of glory? Or is there some other psychology that works when somebody who voted for Donald Trump in 2016 turns around and plans to go out and shoot Donald Trump, or a registered Republican like the guy in Butler, Pennsylvania, who attempts to shoot Donald Trump, their party's leader. So the question is, why is this happening? Now, I'm not going to entertain any conspiracy theories that it's happening because it's being staged, because there's no evidence of it being staged. But our government, at the Secret Service level, at the FBI level, at the local law enforcement level, all need to coordinate to find out why this is happening and why Donald Trump is being targeted. I'm not going to say the answer to the question is it's because he keeps inciting the lawlessness, because there's the element of extremism on the left as well. And I can't push out the possibility that you can be radicalized by that, but not and it's like a molehill versus a mountain in terms of propaganda. Donald Trump is heavily pushing out lies and trying to divide Americans, and doing so in an aggressive manner so as to upend the lives of people in peaceful communities across the United States. But Kamala Harris's campaign is not doing that. Kamala Harris's campaign is just pushing back and standing up for the truth and telling the truth as it stands. The fact that Kamala Harris is of Asian and Jamaican descent and born in Oakland, California is a fact. And whether this Haitian attack and whether other racial attacks on Kamala Harris are coming up as part of the far right or something that Donald Trump is milling up, that is inciting people to lawlessness. And would that not have a backlash? To think that it wouldn't would be naive. So from now until election day, I pray that every single one of you remain vigilant. No matter where you go, if you're in a public place, please remain vigilant. If you see something suspicious that is blatantly suspicious, if you see something that is threatening, or if you feel personally threatened in some way, call 911 or call out the local authority or police officer or Secret Service officer, whoever you see right there and right then. Do not engage and provoke any sort of political discourse that will raise it to the level of a physical confrontation. Remember your right to vote. Be sure to register to vote. Go out and vote, or have your ballots mailed to you. There's plenty of time for that. And vote. If you're going to vote, take water bottle, take a charged phone, take a friend with you if you don't want to go alone, if you're scared about it, and always keep your phone charged and water bottle, because you might have to wait in line. Exercise your right to vote. Do so proudly. Do not fear, but remain vigilant, because we don't know what happens once you unleash chaos. We are seeing today that Donald Trump is being subjected to assassination attempts. We hopefully will get to the bottom of the cause of that. So what is this person's motive? It would be important to learn that. And with the second attempt with this guy, we have the opportunity to learn what may have happened and what the motivation of this person was. Was it just a moment's glory, or is there something more? Is there a fracture in the Republican Party, even in the extremist wings, that we are not seeing? Is there something that endangers Republican politicians as well? Because clearly these attempts on the Republican nominee for president shows, first one was a registered Republican, second one voted for Donald Trump in 2016, although he wanted to vote for Nikki Haley and Vivek Ramaswamy this time around. Maybe his deal is just trying to draw attention. Maybe he wants his glory while, Donald Trump is the hot topic for everybody. And if that is the case, then we should give this person that moment and just push him aside and move forward. If it's something bigger, we need to look at the security apparatus at every level, the coordination of intelligence. And this happened on a Trump golf course. It was like somewhere outside the golf course. The Secret Service saw a rifle barrel point out, and then they got the guy. Uh, and no shot was fired, or maybe a shot was fired that didn't hit anybody. I don't know about that exactly. But the point is that political violence is not all right. Political violence is not okay. Guns are not the solution to political differences. And Donald Trump and JD Vance and the Republican Party have not addressed the issue of gun violence for what it is, and they will blame far left, or even Vice President Harris's rhetoric, which is not incendiary, to blame for these attacks that are happening by former Trump supporters from registered Republicans. So, with that said, thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe. I'll talk to you again when the need arises. Take care.